Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be talking about Superman Unlimited issue 4 by Dan Slott, Lucas Meyer, Rafael Albuquerque, Marcelo Maiolo, and Matt Herms. Superman's quest to stop the kryptonite spreading across the world continues this issue, as in Gotham City, a group of criminals try and break into a building, but their nightly activities are stopped by a Man-Bat. The criminals, however, aren't scared at all, just glad that it's not Batman this time. They shoot the creature off the building and continue their mission, breaking through the building's fire escape on the roof. Man, Gotham criminals are just something else. A giant 9-foot-tall bat creature doesn't dissuade them at all from robbing a place. Kinda makes sense too, with all of the weird shit Gothamites have to put up with. A visit from Man-Bat is like the least of their worries. Hell, he's one of the tamer villains stalking the streets of Gotham. Below the robbers on the streets, Jimmy and Tina are heading to the newly opened Daily Planet branch in Gotham. Jimmy tells Tina their first story is trying to find out who is stealing the E from the Daily Planet sign in Gotham, hoping the gorilla's IT skills will come in handy to track down who's doing it via surveillance footage. Suddenly, Man-Bat lands on the hood of their car and Jimmy activates his signal watch, knowing that this is a job for Superman. Superman, meanwhile, hears the watch all the way in Metropolis, knowing that he'll get to his friend in a second as he rushes to save Veronica Vreeland, a social media influencer who was dancing on the table of a rooftop nightclub when she was accidentally knocked off over the railing. Superman rushes to save her but finds that she is actually wearing kryptonite jewelry, meaning he can't get close to her. This is something I actually never really thought about, and I love Slott is diving into it. Kryptonite now being part of everyday life outside of criminals using it for nefarious things. It's a hot new item in the world, so of course something like a social media influencer would want to get their hands on some of it to wear in their videos or promote it in some way. It's pretty much become a new type of currency on Earth or in the DC universe at this point in time. Superman has to save her from a distance now, rushing to the ground and using his super breath to keep the woman suspended in the air, moving a lead-lined dumpster under her to catch her and make sure the kryptonite doesn't affect him as much, so he can get in closer to check if she is okay. Veronica is more than okay, knowing that thanks to Superman saving her, she's got content for days. She gives Superman a peck on the cheek, which is a bad move since even her lipstick has trace elements of kryptonite in it, which slowly begins to affect the Man of Steel as he speeds off to help Jimmy in Gotham. Jimmy, meanwhile, has taken the gunshot-wounded Man-Bat to the local hospital to see Dr. Leslie Tompkins. Oh, how I love even Jimmy knows all about Leslie and how she can help them out, and I can't remember if these characters have actually interacted together on page before, but it's so cool that they have got an established professional relationship there, like they know of each other and know what each other can do and how they're involved in the superhero community. Dr. Tompkins knows that Man-Bat is a rather dangerous person to be dealing with, and luckily her office is being watched by Robin, who isn't too pleased that Jimmy and Tina have bumbled their way into Gotham and into his case as he has been tracking down Man-Bat. He speeds off towards the clinic as Man-Bat soon awakens, confused and very angry at the bullet wound in his shoulder. Superman smashes through the wall just in time, apologizing to Leslie for the damage, which he intends to fix afterwards. Man-Bat attacks Superman, who tries to get through to Kurt, telling him to control himself, but it doesn't work as the creature bites his arm, actually drawing blood thanks to Superman being weakened from the kryptonite kiss. Robin arrives in the nick of time to save Superman, knowing that while the Man of Steel is a hammer, you need a scalpel to deal with Man-Bat, as he knows where all of the creature's weak points are. Robin takes down Kurt with no problem, getting him back into the gurney and strapping him down. Dr. Tompkins sedates the creature as Robin reveals this particular Man-Bat isn't Kurt Langstrom. It's one of his old lab assistants he's been tracking since the guy was making a new Man-Bat serum. I like that Slott is just having us kind of stumble into another story in Gotham here with Robin, you know, seen off page where Robin is tracking down Man-Bat and doing his own thing, and Jimmy and that have kind of stumbled upon a story to, I guess, be their first big one in Gotham now that they're running the Gotham Daily Planet office. So it's kind of a cool story to, you know, straight away they're into the Man-Bat stuff, you know, Robin's here, all that really cool stuff. Robin confirms that the serum this man was making is more dangerous than Langstrom's, as it's contagious through bite, and soon we find out just how much, as Superman is transformed into a Superman Bat thanks to the bite he received. The setup Slott did here with having Superman get weakened just a little bit by the kryptonite so that, you know, his natural defenses are slightly down down, so he's able to be then bitten by the Man-Bat once he barges into a situation he wasn't fully briefed on, is just so great. And it's just, that one wrong thing after another, as well as it all keeps it related back to kryptonite and how that is, the cause of all of these problems. If the kryptonite hadn't been there to weaken Superman, none of this would be happening right now. It shows some great forethought on Dan Slott's part. Robin escapes the building with Dr. Tompkins, despite her insistence to stay and help the others, but Robin knows that Batman would want her to be taken to safety first and foremost. Tina helps Jimmy get to safety, tinkering with his signal watch and giving it an upgrade, turning it into a bat signal watch, at least while he's in the city limits of Gotham. Activating the watch sends out a signal to Oracle, who is told by Tina that Jimmy and him need some help of the bat-shaped persuasion as they are being chased by a Superman bat. Oracle is all over it, calling in Big Barda, Batgirl, and Black Canary to help out. I'm a sucker for other heroes joining in on a story for just a little bit of a team up, and I like that even more so when the writers have a thought of what characters to put in. They're not just putting, fan favorite characters in the book just for the sake of that and to have, out of context panels be shared on social media of these characters interacting. Here, Slott has Big Barda, the muscle to deal with Clark's strength, Black Canary, whose sonic scream can throw the bat creature side of Superman bat off balance, and Cassandra Cain to support Robin with her martial arts skills and agility. Robin tries to keep Superman bat distracted, but the creature is intent on getting to Jimmy for some reason, obviously following his pre-Bat transformation mission to help him out. The Superman Bat blasts the group with a whirlwind from his wings as the backup arrives, taking the fight to the infected hero. The team, while helping keep Superman Bat at bay, aren't really making much progress, and Robin doesn't think that calling in the cavalry was the best idea, since as he said before, the Bat Serum is contagious, and he's proven right as Superman Bat bites Black Canary, turning Dinah into a Black Canary Bat. Slott not going for the obvious route with the heroes immediately being able to use their skills to take down the Superman Bat is quite cool. It immediately changes the stakes, raises them even as we are seeing, a potential Man-Bat creature outbreak in the superhero community, which is a little bit terrifying, and it's something we've seen before as well, and it's always been really cool to have a Man-Bat character be the front and center reason for something like this to happen. Jimmy asks the question I think we are all asking right about now. Where the fuck is Batman? And as it turns out, Bruce Wayne is in El Caldero at the Emerald City auction house, where he's been buying up as much kryptonite as he can get his hands on. Bruce waves it off as some of his biz just being him trying to drunkenly signal the waiter for more booze, really playing up the whole billionaire playboy aspect of his disguise here. As he sips on champagne and dines, Ron Troop from the Daily Planet interviews him, asking if, with his past donations to the Justice League over the years, is he there in El Caldero as a favor for Superman, and is he buying up the kryptonite to help the hero out? Bruce, of course, acts none the wiser, explaining to Ron that kryptonite futures are up, and he's there for a good investment, and besides, there really isn't any better use of his time. This is what I was saying before about kryptonite kind of becoming this kind of new currency in the world, and I like that Slott is diving into it a little bit every time we get a new issue of this series. Like we see the jewelry and like the lipstick and how it's just kind of seeping into everyday life. It's kind of infecting everyday life now with all sorts of stuff being made out of kryptonite, both for good reasons and obviously for more nefarious reasons. And I also like that this gives him a chance to actually write the billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne, something I feel which has been missing from a lot of comics for a long while, at least outside of Mark Waid's work. Mark Waid seems to be the only guy who likes writing the Bruce Wayne persona of Batman. Also points to a Slott for making this the main way Batman is in the book, since Batman hasn't actually appeared yet, which is really quite cool, being that the entire issue is set in Gotham, and I like that he just hasn't been going the usual route, whereas, oh, we're going to Gotham. Well, we have to have Batman in the story now as well. Well, no, we don't really have to, and I like that we can do that. Tina, meanwhile, jumps on Superman Bat's back, keeping him at bay as Robin gets Jimmy to safety. Jimmy knows that Superman is fighting back against whatever the serum did to him, but Robin doesn't believe so, considering he turned Black Canary, and this makes Jimmy realize why he was being hunted: his signal watch. He tells Jimmy to get him out of Gotham as the Superman Bat follows close behind them. The duo race through Gotham's city limits, where Jimmy's watch changes from a Bat signal watch to his Superman signal watch, which unleashes a sonic blast blast that disrupts Superman Bat's hearing, causing him to crash into a building. The next day, Jimmy writes up his story about the Man-Bat outbreak, telling Lois via hologram about the signal watch trick that helped him keep Superman subdued until Dr. Tompkins and Kurt Langstrom developed a cure for him. Lois knows that this is why Superman went for Black Canary first, since the Bat side wanted her sonic powers taken out of commission. But Jimmy knows that the Superman side of the hero was trying to help Jimmy by cluing him into the signal watch and what it could do. I love that Slott is making Jimmy an actual reporter in this series, not just the photography guy. I like that he's writing articles, he's running down stories with Tina, and even calling Lois Chief now like he did with Perry. Lois is impressed with the story, but now needs Tina to focus on who's stealing the E's from the Daily Planet signs, being that this is what the entire story started out as. Later in the Batcave, Bruce learns of Clark's tussle with the kryptonite lipstick. Clark says that it made him weak enough to allow Man-Bat to bite him and puncture his skin, but not strong enough to trigger his new gold solar powers. He knows more and more kryptonite is making its way out into the world, not just in weapons now, and it's why Bruce reveals that he was buying up what he could to store in safely contained lead-lined safes. But thanks to it jumping in price, there's only so much Bruce Wayne's money can do for Superman. Batman and Superman get to work going over some new leads about El Caldero that Batman found, as Robin excuses himself to go and check on the lead-lined safes, revealing that he has been the one stealing the Daily Planet letters. Superman Unlimited issue 4 was a fun romp through Gotham that bucked usual trends when venturing into the city. I'm loving how Slott is finding new ways for traditional green kryptonite to hurt Superman, while also doing some great world building with how it's kind of infecting everyday life now, and it's not just criminals with weapons with kryptonite bullets or lasers in them that are able to get past Superman's defenses and actually hurt him. One thing I do wish this issue did dive into a little bit more of El Caldero. We get a little bit there with Bruce and there's hints that he dug up some stuff, but I kind of wish we got to see it because we set up this big, nation that has all of this kryptonite and we've not really done anything with it besides them being used as a platform to have kryptonite go out into the world. I want to learn more about them, their Presidente guy that's in charge, what his end game is with all of this kryptonite. There's just so much room for really cool story beats, and I'm really surprised that Slott has not gone there yet. Hopefully in the next couple of issues we actually get to see that. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.